Hello, welcome. You are joining Billy Coaching Live. It's really a pleasure again to be with you. For those who don't know me yet, I am Christine Billy and I am a professional coach, and I have the pleasure to interview wonderful leaders weekly on Tuesdays or on Thursday at 6 p.m. CET. So you can, join and interact with us on different topics related to leadership. So today I have the great pleasure to have with us Dr. Hannah Melikian, who will, share with us her perspective on happiness and high performance. So for those who know me, you know that this is, something very important for me as well. So I'm really looking forward to this interview to learn from Anna, share her perspective and inspire us. Okay, so welcome, Anna.
Oh, my pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to our conversation and to learn from you too, because always that we have spoken before, I think I can see things a little bit from a different perspective. That is always a great thing, in my opinion.
Okay, wonderful. So wonderful. So, for those who are listening on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and YouTube, please share your comments or question in the chat. I will integrate that. So, we will enrich the discussion with your question and comments. Okay, so I would like to introduce Dr. Melikian in the right way. So I will say that based on what I know about you, you are an optimist, very important optimist, and you like to use positive psychology and personal awareness to break through mindset limitations and to achieve more than we thought is possible. So I feel excited when I'm reading that, really feeling very aligned with that already. She's a member of ICF, the International Coaching Federation, and of ACEC, the Association of Corporate Executive Coaches. So we have that in common. And she's the host of Mindset Zone podcast. Yeah. Wonderful. So, and many other things she will mention as well. So yeah, we met as part of the ACEC, the Association of Corporate Executive Coaches, and yeah, can you share with us how you became a coach and get invested or part of this association?
Yes. So I'm originally from Portugal, so from Europe, like yourself. I always like to learn, and one of the great ways of learning is traveling. So I love to travel. And my academia life, learning life, and profession while I live in Europe was psychology. I major in psychology. I did 2 master's degrees in psychology and a PhD in psychology. And I was teaching in the university in Portugal, in a private university in Portugal, and also in a master program or 2 master programs in Spain. And my world was clinical psychology, psychotherapy. And as I always and I was very lucky in the training institutions that where I got my basic training, that they were in alignment a lot with my beliefs in terms of when you are working with people to help them to overcome psychological challenges. I was mainly working with anxiety problems, depression problems, and chronic pain. Is through the spoken word that you help them, and you, your presence, the way you interact with them, the way you observe, the way you say things. So you are more precious therapeutic instrument that you have. So it's like if you are a musician and you have an instrument that you play, or even if you are a singer, you have your voice. As a psychologist and a psychotherapist at the time, I realized that I had to work in my instrument to make sure that the house was as much in order as possible to be able to help more effectively people that I was serving. So personal development was always part of my journey. And it really, even if I think before I even decided or thought about studying psychology, I remember in my teens personal development, the desire of trying to understand myself and improve myself was there, and I was doing all the programs and small things that anything that was available for me, I was in. So that desire of improving, of learning about myself, of achieving more, of always trying to excel in whatever I was doing, um, served me very well when I decide to, by reasons of the art, in 2003, I moved to the United States and I had to reinvent my
Mm.
professional life. And when I was in that moment when you leave your what you have built, I had built for 10 years a career in psychology and psychotherapy. Then I decided to move to the United States and I had to reinvent myself. When you are in that jump, in that leap, and you are traveling in the air, not it can be a little bit frightening, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. And again, an opportunity. So was in that um, transformation that I learned about life coaching, and I
Mhm.
fall in love with coaching in general. And I saw the opportunity of using all my previous training in psychology, all my passion for personal development in this new field of coaching, from life coaching to business coaching to executive coaching. And I thought this is absolutely perfect. For
Mm.
me, the way that I saw was in the first 10 years of my professional life, my focus was in serving. I like to see, if you imagine a scale with zero at the middle, numbers until -10 to one side and +10 in the other side. Let's imagine a scale with zero at the from -10, 0, and +10. During my first 10 years of my career, I focused on the negative side of the scale, serving people that have some kind of mental illness to go to the zero, a functional life. And I love that work. It was very fulfilling. It's really being able to help people with depression, anxiety, and even chronic pain problems with everything associated with it to take back control of their life and of what is happening to them is absolutely very rewarding. And then when I moved to the United States and embraced coaching, I start to develop the skills to work in the plus side of the scale with people that have a functional life in many, many ways that they want to achieve more. And that is the field of high performance, is the
Mm.
field of executive coaching. How can we help people to excel?
Mm. I really like the way you presented with this scale. Um, yeah, and putting things in perspective, right? So, um, yeah, I'm using myself scales a lot as a tool to assess for yourself where you stand and where you want to be, and that is a very simple tool, and I find always fascinating how much you can gain from that, right? So yeah, thanks for sharing. It's very nice. Yeah. So um, you are making the link between psychology and coaching, and also with the scale from this performance and how you feel mentally, huh? So because it's also a field I'm passionate about, happiness and high performance. We want all, right? We want both. So, what is for you, from your experience, the link between the two? What makes it work for some people and not so easy for others to achieve, both happiness and high performance? Curious
Le-
to hear your thoughts about that. Yeah.
yeah, so let me try because yes, I was lucky genetically to be the kind of person that sees the glass half full.
Mm-hmm.
We know from positive psychology that there is a genetical determination in terms of well-being, that there are some people that is easy to see the glass half full, and for some people that is bigger of challenge. Their default mode is seeing half empty, so it's more difficult for them to keep the positivity high in their lives. So I was blessed with a bias for the positive, and at the same time, I totally was absorbed the cultural conditionants of Europe and in the United States. That is a lot about you have to work really, really hard to deserve success.
Hmm. You mean in Europe or in United States, or
Yeah,
both?
I both. I
Okay.
think
Yes, yes.
there is from our in our society, and even I think I don't know enough of the Eastern philosophies to see but the in the Western society, the culture of achievement is
Mhm.
about hard work. You have to study hard
Yeah.
to take good grades.
Mm.
You have to work more hours than anybody else to deserve the promotion. There
Mhm.
is that push in terms in sports, no pain, no gain. That
Mhm.
message is a lot there about working hard to deserve
Mhm.
success. And I even sometimes take these. Are you familiar with the marshmallow studies? So for the
Mhm.
people that are watching this, is a famous psychology study that they had kids, yeah, 6, 7, and they were with the psychologist or the in the a lab, and in a room, a little table, and there was marshmallows on the table, and then psychologist yet to leave the room, and you will say something like to the kid, and I'm simplifying the experiment here, that you will say something to the kid, there is some marshmallows or sweets there. If you don't eat them, when I come back, I will give the double of it. And now they will leave the room, and there was the cameras, and you have the kids that will eat immediately. They're the ones that will resist, and even funny things that how do they put sit in their own hands just to avoid that. And then when the researcher psychologist was coming back, they will give him the ones that resist the temptation, delay the gratification. They will be rewarded with extra marshmallows. And the very interesting thing about this research is the studies that have been done 10 years after, 20 years after, to the
Mhm.
same kids. And what that is always what comes in the TV and the social media is that there is a correlation between the kids that resist the temptation of immediate gratification and delay the gratification to success as
Mhm.
students and success professionally. And yes, absolutely, we have, and in the world that we live, that is so immediate gratification, this research is very important for us to think about. And at the same time, I wonder if some of us, successful people, don't take it to the extreme of accumulating a lot of marshmallows in life and not stopping to enjoy eating
Mm.
them. So
Yeah.
we don't take the
Mhm.
delayed gratification too,
Mm,
to the extreme too, and that can be, in my opinion, a problem because we absolutely can achieve success and achieve results by working hard, but we also pay a big price
mm,
if we don't balance or we don't diversify that. We are always pushing, 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 pushing. And let's recognize that we can achieve a lot and loads of recognition and loads of the social accolades by being in that pushing, high driven mode, and even sustain a lot of high performance that way. But with the years and the decades, there is a price to pay in health, both physical and mental, in lifestyle.
mm.
Sometimes I'm working from my own home office.
Yes,
So
yes,
my
yes,
husband
it's
passing by
nice.
there to his own
Absolutely.
office, but uh, to have this freedom that I have now of working from my home office, I had to break that being always in the push, push, push,
Yeah,
push, push.
yeah,
And there is where happiness came
yeah.
because it's when I realized that if we want to be in the flow instead of the pushing, but more in the in a flow state that is the engagement in
Mm,
that high performance kind of flow stage, that has to be sustainable, has
mm,
to be fed by positive emotions,
mm.
and by learning to cultivate happiness is a great way to cultivate. It's just a word to that brings together a lot of positive emotions.
That's really nice the way you describe it because while you were talking, I was also thinking about what we often have as part of discussion in coaching, which is, you know, the difference of being in a world of abundance compared to the world of lacking something, right? So you will be triggered to eat the marshmallow because you feel, I'm not sure that you know what he said is right, and then you know when he comes back, he will get you know. So I will take it now, okay? Or, you know, at the extreme also, feeling that it's never enough, right? So you are still waiting for the right moment to enjoy.
And
So
it's still from that lacking thing.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe I need it later. Maybe will not in the future, and then I need this. So
yeah,
it's that lacking kind of mindset,
yes.
and not from the abundance.
Mm,
The other
mm,
in coaching we speak about the push energy and the pull energy. If we are more in a uh, even with the purpose that is so, how do you say now, in companies, the great resignation, why so
mm,
many people are
mm,
leaving their jobs to try to find
mm.
something else, is a lot about they are tired, in my opinion, of pushing
Yeah.
without seeing a purpose on it.
Mm,
People are not tired of hard working. I think there are many people that there is a certain enjoyment and satisfaction of working hard and see results if there is a purpose, not just because the sake of pushing.
mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, very interesting, this push and pull. And for me, it's really also the art of accepting receiving from the other, right? So this partnership. I've been reflecting a lot on you know the different coaching and you know when this is most successful, you know when I really enjoy it and when the other person enjoy it and then you know get something from it. And my my self reflection is really when it's balanced, right? When it's not like you are pushing, you know, you are doing too much as a coach, or they are doing too much. It's like really flowing, right? So and yeah, it's the link with abundance. You know, you are ready to give and receive in a very you know healthy way, helpful way. I was ready to say yes as well. But yeah, so it's really nice. It seems that we are always searching for. the right balance of energy, what we give and what we receive, and sometimes it's unbalanced because we don't allow ourselves to receive, for example. Yeah. So yeah.
And always think about, because you present me as an optimist, I said that I was lucky to be born a person that has the tendency to see a glass half full. And at the same time, I fall into the trap of being an annoying optimist. That was a
Mm,
learning curve for me, because I was the type of person that will be in any circumstances. At least these, okay,
mm,
almost it is what we now in psychology speak about. The term is toxic positivity.
mhm,
That when we try to push too quickly, because sometimes there are situations that are tough and people are in the middle of it, and trying to push very quickly them from that to the what you can learn, what you can overcome, people can react to it, can feel it's like it's forced.
mm,
And we have to develop our empathy, our soft skills, to know, even if we are optimists by nature,
mhm,
sometimes people need is the recognition of how tough their particular situation is. They need to be seen. I'm seeing you. I'm here for you. Is the empathy. I'm here for you. What can I do to make things just a little bit better? Not to trying because your sadness or your suffering is affecting me. So I'm going to push you as quick as possible to a better state
mhm,
because that is affecting me. But I'm seeing you. I'm strong enough to be by your side and be your shoulder if you need to. And of course, we don't want to stay in there, but there is also the space to stay there. It's a morning kind of process that allow people, after they feel that recognition, then they can be able to see more the abundance around them.
mm. Yeah, very, very insightful. Yeah, yeah. I'm, thinking that it's interesting this aspect of sometime wanting to help. At least this is how I interpret it. So if you see somebody suffering, you may feel urged to help them, right? And
Right.
it can be very counterproductive because first of all, sometimes people don't want that, and this is also to be respected with the limits, for sure,
Yeah.
of what's happening for them. But also maybe it's not the best way. People have to help themselves also to grow, and so this is something I really enjoy learning when I became a coach. The difference between helping people to help themselves, that makes a big difference in terms of autonomy and independence. Yeah,
Is that beautiful image? Do you want to give them a fish or you want to teach them how to
yeah.
fish?
Mm.
And a lot of the coaching process of the traditional ICF coaching is all
Mhm.
about teaching people how to fish. How can we facilitate the process, but
Mhm.
let people connect the dots? And there is a beautiful magic of the empowering the others
Mhm.
to do that process. And how I absolutely love that process. And at the same time, who taught me in a very critical way, because I'm a problem solver by nature too, and was in my relationship with my daughter that I learned that the recognition of seeing her and the trying to acknowledge her feelings were the more important things at some moment, because I was jumping to there was a problem. Okay, we can do this to
Mhm.
solve. And of course,
Yeah.
she was not she was reacting against it,
Mhm.
and almost was a cry for help, saying, "No, please, first see me before you jump." And when I start to not uh, controlling my impulse, controlling my reaction of
Mhm.
help, to okay, listen, be here, and ask her, okay, if I understand the situation, and what do you think that you can do? Really be more coach like there.
Mm.
really changed the dynamic in a big way.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
um,
Yeah. Being there for people. Nothing else is needed, right? So, like we are in this space, really enjoying, talking together and going in the um, direction, naturally. Yeah, where the discussion guides us. Yeah, wonderful. So, um, this is, a question I like to ask to the people I interview. What are your key priorities this year, Anna?
so this year I'm really emphasizing more my speaking. I'm doing
Mhm.
more public speaking. Finally, we can
Ah,
do things in person.
yeah.
So I just present my keynote, the happiness fallacy, in a retreat in the end of March in California, in Palm
Mhm,
Springs, California, to an amazing organization, an amazing. I love to work with organizations that are in a mission, in
mhm,
purpose,
mhm.
and this is a subgroup. I don't know if you in they are in your the big corporations. So
Yeah,
the companies that are focused on the triple bottom line is
yeah.
they are for profit, so profits are important, but they have also to see how they are impacting the people at all
Mhm,
level, from their workforce to the others, and the planet, the
mhm.
environment. There is this parallel of organization called We the Change, that are where business owners, that most of them are big corps, get together. And one of these subgroups, they did a retreat in the end of March after 2 years of not doing in-person retreats. And I had the privilege and the honor of keynoting the starting of their event, and was so great to be in front of people again and
Yeah,
interacting with wonderful human beings there. So really, and that is in terms of 2022, that is my goal, to be more out there virtually, like we are doing here, that
yeah.
allow us to be me in Phoenix, Arizona, you
Yes.
in
Yeah,
Switzerland, at the same time, in this beautiful medium in LinkedIn, that is this
yeah, yeah.
networking 24/7 that is there.
Mhm,
Uh, and at the same time, so I want to keep doing it
mhm.
and do more live in person events of speaking.
Yeah, it was so nice because you were really having this big smile and so happy thinking about being with people and in live events like this where you can share your knowledge, your insights and interact with people. Yeah,
A-
I,
a-
this,
and a-
yeah, mhm,
and I think that because in these 2 years of COVID, there are so many changes in
mhm,
companies, and the work from home, the
yeah,
virtual working virtually, and now coming back to the office. There are so many challenges and things, and possibly we are going to go to some kind of most companies, some kind of hybrid between the two.
yeah,
But even for companies that are keeping the virtual as their main thing, I think the having a mix, if most of your team is virtual, have some kind of in-person event becomes even more important,
yeah,
because absolutely there is advantage of be able to work from a remote location with a good internet. It's great to have more time with the family, more time in nature. Absolutely, for that I work from my home office for 10 years now, and I absolutely love it. And at the same time, I love to be in person with
mm,
people.
yeah. Yeah, it is so important what you just said. It just makes me think, yeah, it's actually so precious now to be with people, right? It's like when we move from writing, by hand to typing, huh? So now when you receive a letter by hand, it's like, wow, you know. So it feels to me that yes, being with people, in the same room is the same thing. It's wow, because this is really now happening from time to time only. So yeah, exactly. So Wonderful. Um, so we can see your passion on connecting with people and your passion around this topic of performance and happiness and the connection between the two. Um, what will be for you a key message at the moment for helping people who are listening to us to go through this change and thinking about these two topics, happiness and high performance?
So happiness, first, the way that I see happiness is multidimensional, because I think sometimes we have, it's not just be happy, smile. It's not that unidimensional kind of
Mhm.
thing. And in my keynote, is about all uncovering 7 blind spots that we have around happiness concepts that really are preventing us from tapping into our fullest human potential. Because I think positive emotions, that we can call under this umbrella of happiness, really can be the key that open us in so many ways for personal development and for being more in our full potential, and more in the flow, more in the
Mhm.
abundance, and be more high performance as individuals and as teams. So I'm really, uh, in a mission of helping people to see the potential that is there and how can they unlock it.
Mm. Yeah, from you know from this state of positive emotion, right? So the power that has on the naturally lead to high performance, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because
y-
when you are happy about yourself and happy to be there with others, then naturally you use your skills, your talents to achieve something. So everything is flowing. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's not, how do you say, negative things are going to happen. Life, how do you say, is there every day to remind us. And if we are
Mm.
several years in this planet or decades, we
Yeah.
know that a thing happen. Life can be very tough, and do we how in those tough circumstances can we bring our reserves, and can we bring our as it's like a little bit the concept of physical fitness.
Mm.
If we are not taking care of our physical body, then there is a flight of stairs, a staircase. We go 4 floors. We arrive at the end of the 4 floors. Okay, we sit. We don't have energy to anything else because we are not physically fit. And I believe that mentally is the same thing. If we don't take care of getting ourselves and taking care of ourselves psychologically, we are not psychological and mentally fit. Even if we are in the normal realm of the scale, is how to say we are not developing our mental muscles, and then there is a challenge, a hard situation in our life or in our professional life, and then we wonder why are we reacting, why are we out of breath, why teams implode in many ways, because become personal things that come because people are not mentally fit. So, how, as people, individuals, and how our organizations can help people to be more mental fit, to develop that mental fitness? I think it's a great
Wonderful.
challenge.
Yeah, I think that's such an important topic. So that's wonderful, and that you can share how important is this to at the core of everything we do, right? So yeah, excellent. So I also want to make the link with how we met. Okay, as part of this association of corporate executive coaches. I am the ambassador for Europe and Asia. So the association has been created in US, and we met because we have the same philosophy of uh, you know seeing our role as coaches, as enterprise wide business wide or wide business partner. Enterprise. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm like
Enterprise wide business
business.
partners.
Voilà. Yeah. So and so this means that it's not only about using coaching, so using, listening and questioning to uncover the key topic and to find your own solution. It's also about using our broad experience at different levels in different situations, personal and professional, to provide, external insights which could inspire you or, bringing different perspective. Okay, so we are a very engaged group of coaches working at the executive level with teams and leaders and really trying to support you in all with all these changes with a very external and broad perspective. So that has inspired me to join, and then this is how I met you, Anna, and I get to know also all the wonderful coaches as part of this association. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. So hello, CB, the founder. If you are looking at us, yeah,
And,
it's
and, and let me add something there, because I think in the ACEC, the Association of Corporate Executive Coaches, led by CB Bowman, one of the things, and going back to the analogy of the fish, and we don't want to give the fish, we want to teach people how to fish. But sometimes I think in the coaching world is a lot almost like, oh, just try things.
Mhm,
When we know the best fishing techniques,
mhm,
we are going to teach the best fishing techniques. So we know what makes organizations, how to implement cultural changes in organizations. We know how to get the teams and individuals to become more high performance. So we don't just let people to be in the trial and error of trying things.
mhm,
We can teach and train them in specific things, and at the same time allow them to, from that spirit of abundance, to make it their own.
mhm. Yeah.
And I think that balance of bringing, we have this rich toolbox of expertise, of knowledge, and we when we work with individual and organizations, we have a lot of tools that we can pull out from, depending of the specific situations in front of us. It's not just we have a hammer and everybody looks like nails. We really have this diversity that allow us to be that enterprise business partner.
Wonderful. So yeah, for those who are listening, don't hesitate to reach to me or to CB Bowman to know more about the association and how we can support you. We are also very interested because most of us we are in research or really trying to develop new techniques or new approaches. So don't hesitate to reach to us if you are faced with a specific question, and let's see what we can do together. Okay. So okay, so I'm looking at the clock now and thinking, oh wow, this went very quickly. This is such a broad topic, happiness, high performance. Maybe we can think about another time to continue the discussion, Anna.
I
And
would
yeah, thank you so much for sharing your insights, your experience on this topic. For those who are listening, please share your comments and questions so that we can prepare the next discussion. I want to mention that next week I won't interview. Yes, I decide to change. I will be on the other side. I will be interviewed at that time. So I will have the pleasure to be interviewed as part of the Workplace Warrior podcast. And I will invite you to join my live morning lives I have at 8:30 CET. I share my tips and experience for a good day. Okay, so you can see me next Tuesday at 8:30 CET. And I wish you a great break because we are gonna have few days off And that's a good timing to rest and reflect and prepare for the next stage of what you would like to achieve this year and how would you like to feel. So thank you so much again, Anna.
Pleasure.
Yeah, and we talk soon, all of you. Bye bye. Enjoy your evening or your depending from where you are watching the afternoon. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Bye
Thank
bye.
thank you.